In October of 2013, a 25-year-old travel vlogger named Ethan Cross vanished without a trace near the base of Mount Fuji in Japan. He was smart, adventurous, and known for filming hidden, off-the-map locations that most tourists wouldn't dare step into. But there was one place he couldn't resist visiting, Aokigahara Forest. What he found inside, no one could explain. Ethan had been traveling through Japan for a series called Ghost Trails, where he would visit allegedly haunted or cursed places and document his experience. His videos were eerie, cinematic, and strangely captivating, but none of them compared to the footage he took in Aokigahara, because it was his last upload. And no one has seen him since. He arrived in Fujikowaguchiko town on October 8, 2013. Locals say they saw him at a small ramen shop, asking for directions to the entrance of the forest. The shop owner, an elderly woman named Hannah, later told police that she warned Ethan not to go too far in. She said, "That place eats time. And sometimes, people." He smiled politely and left. The next morning, Ethan hiked into Aokigahara with his camera, a bottle of water, and a red string, a common tool used by explorers in the forest to mark their path back. But hours later, when hikers passed through the trail, they found the red string just a few feet from the entrance, completely unraveled. Like it had been ripped off. At first, nobody thought much of it. Ethan was known to be spontaneous. Maybe he had decided to leave early or taken another trail. But 4 days later, his friend and editor back in California received a file. It was a 14-minute video with no title, no music. Just raw footage. In it, Ethan is walking along a narrow path surrounded by dense green trees. He speaks softly into the camera, saying, "I can see why this place is considered haunted, even the wind sounds like whispers." The footage shows several ribbons tied to trees, left by people who may never have returned. Then, the tone shifts. Around the 8-minute mark, the camera begins to shake. Ethan whispers, "I think someone's following me." But when he pans the camera around, no one is there. At 10 minutes in, he stumbles upon something strange, a small wooden cabin, partially buried beneath vines. He says he's going to take a quick look. He enters the cabin, and that's where the video glitches, freezing on a single frame. A blurry image of what looks like a shadow in the corner of the cabin. The video ends there. Authorities launched a search party a week later. But the forest is dense, like nature trying to swallow itself. Searchers found his backpack, his water bottle, and a torn piece of his flannel shirt. But Ethan was gone. That should have been the end of it. But it wasn't. 1 year later, on October 9, 2014, a couple hiking a rarely used path in Aokigahara reported hearing a voice. A male voice, distant but clear, calling, "Help. I'm lost." They followed the sound for over 20 minutes, weaving through thick underbrush. But every time they got close, the voice seemed to move. Finally, they found an old camera, half buried in the dirt. It was Ethan's. Police retrieved the SD card. But it was corrupted. However, a tech expert working with the Tokyo Metropolitan Police recovered one file, a short clip, 2 minutes long. No image. Just audio. It begins with heavy breathing. Then a whisper, "If anyone finds this, don't trust the trees. They move." Then static. Since Ethan's disappearance, hikers have reported hearing footsteps behind them that stop when they turn around. Some say they hear someone laughing, softly, just before the forest goes dead silent. A Canadian tourist who camped there in 2018 claimed that her tent zipper opened by itself in the middle of the night. She said she saw a man standing barefoot in the distance, smiling, but not blinking. He didn't say a word. Just smiled. Then vanished behind a tree. When morning came, she left everything behind and ran. Experts say the forest's eerie vibe is due to its geology. The lava floor absorbs sound, creating unnatural silence. That, mixed with the forest's tragic history, might explain the strange feelings people get there. But that doesn't explain Ethan's final recording. Or the voice that led hikers to his camera a year later. To this day, no remains have been found. No confirmed sightings. Only stories. And whispers. Some locals believe Ethan never left the forest. That his curiosity turned him into part of it, another whisper in the wind, another shadow in the trees. And if you ever find yourself near the edge of Aokigahara, listen closely. Because if you hear someone whisper, "Help! I'm lost," don't follow it.